Hello, I'm Jay Kelly. Welcome to my channel. IDPA is a great shooting sport, loosely based on the concept of personal self-defense. As a sport, and any sport, there are rules. As they've evolved over time, some nuances have crept in that are sometimes a little bit confusing. Reloading during a stage is one area that is now pretty well defined, but still continues to confuse some. This video is my attempt to help clarify the situation. First, it's important to understand that there's really only two types of IDPA reloads. There's an emergency reload, and that's performed when the gun is empty. There's no live ammo anywhere in the gun. Now this particular gun, you can see there's nothing in the chamber. There's nothing in the magazine. The gun is completely empty, whether the slide is forward or whether it's retracted. The gun is completely empty. You can't continue a course of fire, and that's why it's an emergency reload. Gun is empty. No live ammo anywhere in the gun. The other type of reload is when, for tactical purposes, a reload is performed even though there is ammunition somewhere in the gun. At least one round. It might be in the magazine or it might be in the chamber, anywhere. As long as there's at least one or more rounds and you decide to perform a reload, then in that case, it's what we would consider a tactical reload. So empty gun, or where there is at least one round somewhere in the gun, the tactical reload. It's important to notice that the status of the magazine removed as part of the reload does not establish a different type of reload in and of itself. It merely determines if the mag needs to be retained or not. Under IDPA rules, if there's any live ammunition in the mag, it has to be retained. If it's empty, as this one is, just drop it and continue the course of fire. It's important to remember, the gun status determines the type of reload that you're performing. Gun empty or gun not empty. It gets as simple as that. Now where you can reload is a bit more confusing because of how visual barriers are treated. But it too is also fairly straightforward. On stages with no cover, either type of reload can be performed at any time. No hard cover anywhere on the stage is the determining factor. In this case, you can even reload behind a visual barrier with no penalty. However, on stages with cover, we're talking about hard cover now, then you must be behind cover while reloading. And since visual barrier is concealment and not considered cover, reloading behind one on a stage where cover does exist would then earn a penalty. So on stages with no cover, reload anywhere, anytime. On stages with cover, you must use it. There is a single exception that complicates this last part just a little bit, but it makes sense when you think about it. On stages with cover, if you run the firearm empty while engaging targets in the open as required or allowed by the course of fire, you don't have to go find cover someplace but may reload and continue. What you're doing in that situation is you've encountered surprise targets in the open and you're engaging them and you run the firearm empty. And in that case, you don't have to retreat or look around to find where cover is to reload. You can just load and go. I got to come back and emphasize this a little bit though. Run empty does not mean that you're running with an empty gun. It means you were in the middle of engaging targets in the open and you ran out of ammo. There is no live ammo left in your gun. So, in summary, there are just two kinds of reloads, empty or not empty. Two kinds of stages, no cover or with cover. And a single exception when you run the firearm empty while engaging targets in the open on a stage that does have cover. As always, shoot safe. And thanks for watching.